Episode 4, Roommate Woes.
Sure thing. Living with roommates can be a real roller coaster ride, folks. It's like being on an episode of Survivor, but instead of being stranded on an island, you're stranded in a one-bedroom apartment with 3 other people and a fridge that's constantly empty. One of the biggest challenges of living with roommates is figuring out how to divide up chores. I mean, who knew that taking out the trash could be such a contentious issue? You'd think we were fighting over who gets to keep the crown jewels or something. And don't even get me started on sharing the bathroom. It's like a battle for prime real estate in there. You're trying to brush your teeth and someone's blow-drying their hair, and you're both giving each other the death stare in the mirror. It's like a staring contest, but with more toothpaste foam. Another thing that's tough about living with roommates is dealing with their weird habits. Like, one of my roommates is a total night owl and stays up until 3 a.m. watching Netflix. Meanwhile, I'm over here trying to get my beauty sleep and he's blasting Stranger Things at full volume. It's like he's auditioning for the lead role in Sleepless in Seattle. But you know what? Despite all the challenges, living with roommates can actually be pretty great. You get to share experiences and make memories with people who become like family. And who else is going to make you laugh until you cry at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday night when you have a big exam the next day? So, if you're thinking about living with roommates, just remember, it's a wild ride, but it's worth it. And if all else fails, invest in some noise-canceling headphones and a good lock for your bedroom door. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Living with roommates can be quite the experience, can't it? On the one hand, you get to split the rent and utilities with other people, which can be a real lifesaver. But on the other hand, you're also forced to share your living space with complete strangers who may or may not have the same level of cleanliness or noise tolerance as you do. I remember one time I had a roommate who was a complete neat freak. I mean, this guy would vacuum the carpets every single day, no matter how clean they already were. And while I appreciated his dedication to cleanliness, it did start to feel a little excessive after a while. I mean, who vacuums their carpet every day? It's not like we were living in a barn. And then there was the roommate who would always blast his music at full volume, even late into the night when everyone was trying to sleep. I tried to talk to him about it, but he just didn't seem to understand why it was a problem. So eventually, I had to resort to some creative tactics to get him to turn it down. Let's just say that strategically placed sticky notes with the words "please be considerate" can be surprisingly effective. But despite all the challenges of living with roommates, there are also some real perks. For one thing, you always have someone to hang out with and talk to, which can be especially nice if you're new to a city and don't know many people yet. And there's always someone around to split a pizza with, which is never a bad thing. All in all, living with roommates can be a roller coaster of an experience, with plenty of ups and downs along the way. But if you can find a good group of people to share a living space with, it can also be a lot of fun. And who knows, you might even end up making some lifelong friends in the process. Sure thing, let's talk about living with roommates. It's a rite of passage for many of us, right up there with getting your driver's license and eating a whole pizza by yourself. One thing that's great about living with roommates is that it's an opportunity to learn how to share. You learn how to share your space, your food, your Netflix account, and sometimes, even your bed, if you're really close. But sometimes, sharing can be tough, especially when it comes to the bathroom. I once had a roommate who would take hour-long showers. I swear, she must have been washing every individual cell on her body. And of course, she would always use up all the hot water, leaving me shivering and cursing under my breath. But you know what they say, revenge is a dish best served cold, or in this case, wet. So, I started flushing the toilet every time she was in the shower, causing the water to turn scalding hot. It was like my own little game of bathroom roulette. Living with roommates also means dealing with their quirks and idiosyncrasies. I had another roommate who was obsessed with the thermostat. She would constantly adjust it, no matter what time of year it was. One day, I came home and found that she had cranked the heat up to 85 degrees. I felt like I was in a sauna. So, I did what any reasonable person would do. I waited until she left for the weekend and then I moved the thermostat to my room. It was like my own little slice of Arctic paradise. But in all seriousness, living with roommates can be a great experience. You learn how to communicate, compromise, and coexist with other people. And who knows, you might even make some lifelong friends. Just be sure to set some ground rules and boundaries up front, and always remember, when in doubt, passive-aggressive notes are always an option. Thank you, good night.
And that wraps up another laughter-filled episode of Not So Funny A. If you enjoyed the jokes generated by our AI algorithms, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our comedy-loving community.